Hello everyone, this is Dr. Shijun Wang. Today I'm going to continue working on the Brahms Intermezzo Opus 118 number 2. This is the second part. Last time we stopped at around measure 30. It's after a 14 measure of crescendo. We go start from the low E and with so many different undulations going up and down and arriving on A and again and arriving from G sharp, and then now we have a crescendo and a crescending chromatic scale, ascending chromatic scale with a bass pedal point on the dominant. And again here, after all that journey, it's only one forte. And we have both the right hand and left hand having a very large crescendo, Harbin. And we can only play so deep without hitting or without producing a very harsh sound. So what we do is to build up with time. Okay, and here for the first time we have espressivo. So it's outgoing, it's more extrovert instead of the dolce, which indicates the introvert. But here also everything building on the minor second, major second, 3-note motive, but also in other voices. The bass, for instance, and this comes from, right? This is, of course, 4 octaves higher, but it's from the very beginning, and he shouts it out 3 times, almost like Beethoven, right? Sforzando, sforzando, sforzando. He repeats like crazy. Why? Because the C sharp turning into C natural, which is also minor second, major second, but then change the color from major sounding to minor sounding. And this, I think, is the thread that changes from this outgoing, because that espressivo only lasted for 2 measures before he marked piano, and then very soon marked dolce. So he tells you, I think he tries to hold off the emotion only for 2 measures, and then he cools down, or he decided to not review. Yeah. And here comes one of the most beautiful parts in the whole Brahms piano repertoire. From? Yeah, from heaven. No, it's also from do, 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 but it's the flipped. It's the mirror image. It's what Bach did with some of his fugues, right? So going down but going up, down up, then up down. This flipped version. But of course here with a mini canon in the alto. Hiding in the tenor, hiding in the tenor, in the bass now. it's a huge section of canon, right? You cannot miss it. It's right there. He puts a separate stem on the middle voice. And this it's from the hymn, the Secret Ahead, Now Wounded. Yeah. So it of course has religious background, has some connection, but also the canon itself. Yeah, we see Bach does this all the time, and it symbolizes Jesus and the followers, right? One leads, one follow. So I think here really he's drawing, and he did this very early in his composing career. He always had sacred text even in his songs. Measure 57, this whole thing, I mean, if you don't know this hymn, now you know this is the same texture as any hymn. And he writes slower and una coda. But here, what's also amazing is that he put another canon in the left hand. One beat later. Minor, so the changing color. Yeah, and after this praying section, second expressivo. So he wants to sing it out loud, but also a canon. But here what's different is that the middle voice starts first. Now the soprano leads, and then alto. Three endings. Second, third. Each begin and finish with a different mood. Right? Almost like he had something he wants to say but decided not to. Yeah, so slight different switches. B instead of the A. So really, after learning this, studying this, and doing research on this, it's probably a perfect example of how a composer can think logically while putting all sorts of emotions. Also, it's a perfect balance between the head and the heart. It has logical designs, and it also touches the deepest part of your heart. So, well, what we can say for Brahms, for centuries, even when he was, I mean, especially when he was a living composer, the contemporaries didn't understand him. You have to decipher all of this information to appreciate, right? But of course, gradually he became more popular, and I would say among musicians, Brahms is probably the number one favorite among musicians, because if you study, you discover the beauty, then you're in awe. You understand what a genius and what a hardworking composer he is. Well, I hope this series can do a little tiny part of promoting Brahms music. See you next week for number 3.